Welcome to Betting Weekly Tennis Live in association with Bet Rivers. I'm Rory Jawani. With me is Tim Dennis. We've got some in-play action to look at in the show. Actually, I think we might as well go to that straight away. It's in Brussels, an all-Belgian affair between Zizou Bergs and Raphael Collignon. Tim, you've been keeping a close eye on this one because you've got an interest here, and I think things have just gone your way.
Oh, you must be a few seconds in front of me, Roy. Yeah, Berg's just unforced error. So yeah, good to give me some good news there. I just backed Collignon to win the first set from a personal point of view, just because Bergs has come from Shanghai. It wouldn't surprise me if maybe I've got a little bit fortunate actually, because Bergs has actually looked the better player in that set, but Collignon nicked a break at a vital time, and as long as he can hold his serve, hopefully that will start the match off positively from a personal point of view. But yeah, good for Collignon. Long way to go for Berg. So it's completely different conditions from what he came to Shanghai. A little bit quicker here, obviously indoors, and we all know what Shanghai was very slow. So wouldn't be surprised if he adapted reasonably quickly and got this match back on level terms. But hopefully not till the second set.
Yeah, hoping Collignon holds here. The match odds, Bergs is plus 160. Collignon, who is now serving for the set at 5-4, he's minus $2 for the match. So we'll keep you updated on that one. We've also got some action in Stockholm, where it's a sibling clash. The Ymer brothers, Elias and Mikael, and Elias has won the first set. And he is 1-love up in the second. Mikael Ymer is serving, and it's 15:30. So Elias Ymer could be on his way to putting this match to bed quite early in the second set. Those two matches are live, and of course, you can bet in play and stream the action live on Bet Rivers. And I just saw someone flash up that Sean and Nigel both put up Collignon to win on the money line. I guess the same sort of logic that you used, Tim, with the trip from Shanghai.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can't completely. I should be honest, it's not all my own knowledge. I did listen to the show Nigel and Sean did, and sort of took a bit of inspiration from that. And so yeah, sort of jumped on the bandwagon a bit there. But hopefully, all three of us can be in a good position going into. As long as he holds serve here, we'll have to see, won't we?
We will indeed. Should give you the odds for that all Ymer clash, the two Swedish brothers. Elias Ymer is now minus 455. Mikael Ymer plus 350. And Mikael actually turned things around in that game. He now leads 40-30. So it's now deuce, actually. Mikael Ymer plus 410. Elias Ymer minus 590. So those are the two in-play matches going on. We're going to look at the outright odds for the WTA 500 in Ningbo. I was watching some of the action from there earlier, and I was watching some of the action from Osaka, which is where the 250 is going on. It's quite a contrast because Ningbo does look slow, as we thought it might be when Nigel and I looked at that in the preview show on Betting Weekly WTA. While Osaka does look quick, but Ningbo isn't playing quickly, and Jelena Rybakina is the favourite there at plus 250. I'm not sure she's going to relish these conditions particularly. Jasmine Paolini next at plus 370. Mira Andreeva plus 550. Ekaterina Alexandrova at $6. Karolina Muchova plus 750. Belinda Bencic $9. And it's $20 bar those. The top four in the betting are pretty sure they're the top four seeds and got buys through to round two, so they haven't been in action just yet. We had a bit of a shock earlier. Lin Zhu beating Emma Raducanu. You can see Lin Zhu there at $100. What have you taken from this tournament so far, Tim?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to ask you quickly, Roy, having seen that and the conditions as they are, and having done your preview show, I guess obviously the big market move there is Muchova having come through sort of the headline first round match there today. So yeah, are you still in a happy position with your sort of the way you see the tournament going forward now, or are you sort of changed your mind a little?
I think well, our outright picks were terrible. I have to say, all of mine fell at the first. but the logic, I think, still right. I mean, Ningbo is slow. It does look slow. And it could be an opportunity for someone at a big price. I mean, I can't have Rebecca in this on the speed of court. Paulina,
she's shortened a lot, hasn't she? Obviously with that win, but Muchova now must be someone on your radar with the conditions.
She is, but it's the fitness is always a worry with Muchova.
Yeah.
Last week she was looking good, and then she retired due to injury, and that would put me off. And obviously, everyone knows I'm a big fan of hers, but I think there are better options. Bencic could be interesting at $9, although again, I suspect she'd want it quicker. McCartney Kessler demolished Sophia Kenin in round 1, which was a bit of a surprise. $28 could be interesting. Yue Yuan came through. That was one of Nigel's match bet picks. She defeated Jin Yu Wang in straight sets. Exactly, Willie K. Yuan with the easy win, so we were quite pleased with that one. We actually did well on the match bets. We were 5 out of 6 for Ningbo and Osaka on the match bets, but the less said about the outrights, the better. It could be. I think there could be a shock here. I mean, Paulini's played a lot of tennis, and at some point you feel it might catch up with her. I don't know. Looks. It's a tricky one. It's not the strongest 500 that's ever been played, and in these conditions, I think anything could happen.
Yeah, like you say, slightly different over in Osaka, isn't it? A little bit faster there.
It certainly is. We'll look at those odds now, and we've got an interesting match tomorrow, which we will look at because Naomi Osaka, who's the top seed and tournament favourite and very short at plus 140, she's going to play Suzan Lamens, who's the defending champion. And Lamens, you can see there, $40. Osaka plus 140 just looks very short to me. Leila Fernandez, $5, along with Marie Bauskova. Elise Mertens, $11. Ashlyn Krueger and Teresa Valentova at $12. Katie Boulter, who upset Linda Noskova in round 1, she's $14. And it's 16s bar those. Any of those take your fancy? I mean, to me, Kruger's just been in such bad form. She does like quicker conditions. I'm still not sure about her. I watched Mertens beat Christina Buxer earlier, and she on the whole, served very well. She was unreturnable at times, which you wouldn't normally associate with Mertens. But any thoughts on Osaka there, Tim?
Yeah, well, I mean, just going back to that market, obviously Naomi Osaka is a strong favourite now with Noskova having lost in her first round, and you'd like to think this really is her tournament to lose now, wouldn't you? A little bit like that Challenger event she won earlier in the year. I mean, she should be beating these players. I mean, you've got Katie Boulter in there, about 6th favourite. Just going back to the market there, one thing I did look was interesting. We'll have a look at a match later, Bouzas Maneiro and Cristian, but Bouzas Maneiro is actually favourite to beat Jaqueline Cristian tomorrow, and she's a bigger price on the outright, which doesn't really make a huge amount of sense. So perhaps Bouzas Maneiro, maybe a little bit of value there. Like I said, she's one of the matches we're going to cover in a minute, but strange to see that she's favourite to beat Cristian tomorrow, but she's a bigger price on the outright.
There's a similar thing with Boulter and Sorana Cirstea, because Boulter's the outsider for their match.
Yeah.
But she's a sort of shorter price on the outright, which again doesn't make too much sense. But we will look at those matches a bit later on. We're going to look at Ningbo matches first. And on the right of your screen now, Ajla Tomljanovic up against Zeynep Sonmez from Turkey. The Australian -121, Sonmez -104. These two were due to meet at Indian Wells this year, but Sonmez pulled out before the match. I think these conditions will suit Sonmez the better of the two. She came through qualifying and then had to come from behind to beat Alexandra Sasnovic in round 1. Tomljanovic was impressive in qualification. She beat Maya Joint, her fellow Australian, and then Antonia Rusic, and then got the better of Clara Towson. But Towson was struggling with a back problem. Towson actually won the first set 6-1, and then the Australian came back. I actually quite like Sonmez here in these conditions. She's -104 in the money line. She's actually +102 to win more games There is the tie in that bet as well, which I think is $24. But to get a shade of plus money, I thought plus 102 was interesting there about Sonmez to win the most games. Only a lean for me. Did you have any view on that one, Tim?
Yeah, it's interesting. We haven't actually spoke about this match off air, but yeah, my thoughts align with yours, Rory. I thought Sonmez. I'm surprised. I was actually surprised she wasn't favourite. I think Tomljanovic, like I said, she beat an injured Towson today. I've seen her withdraw a few times in the last couple of months as well. So I think there's still a little bit to be taken on trust with Tomljanovic's fitness as well. I think she was playing in Brazil earlier and maybe even only last month, probably 5-6 weeks ago now, and she withdrew. And then I think a few games later there, in Wuhan against Gracheva, she had to walk off the court in that match too. So, and I think, like you say, conditions Sonmez here, and I'm surprised I had them being the other way around. So if that's the way I see it, then I think it's going to have to be on Sonmez on the money line. Yeah, I think that's a fair way to go.
Yeah, there's a lot of love for Sonmez on the chat as well. I think Willie K saying always a good idea to fade Tomljanovic when she's the favourite. So yeah, there's Subi. Yeah, okay, guys, Sonmez it is. I think we've a group decision there to back Sonmez.
Probably, even if Towson was perhaps not 100% today, that's as big a win as Tomljanovic has had in quite a while now, isn't it? Obviously, she was a better player than she is at the moment a few years back, but that's as big a win she's had for quite a while, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's right. So that'll be an interesting one tomorrow. Next match we're looking at in Ningbo, probably the match of the day, or certainly one of the matches of the day. Karolina Muchova against Diana Shnaider. Muchova minus 240, Shnaider plus 185. First meeting, they both won their openers in straight sets. As we mentioned, Muchova beat fellow Czech Marketa Vondrausova, and Shnaider got the better of left-hander Jiyu Wang to snap a run of 3 straight defeats. So said, with Muchova, she's in much the better form of the two, but fitness is always a worry with her. I was tempted a bit by Muchova, but that question mark over her fitness just makes me think that's probably best left alone, Tim.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the leave alone stakes here too, actually, because Shnaider, I sort of got a little bit lucky with her in her last round because I was very tempted to go against her on the handicap, and I think she covered it by half a game. So I was glad I stepped out there, and the reason I stepped out is because she's got a reasonable record here, isn't she? And obviously she goes well at this time of year. Obviously she won the tournament in Hong Kong, which comes after this, I think, last year. And she's, like I said, she's also got a good record here. So I think Muchova's clearly the right favourite. It's a real shock to me these two have never met before, actually. Firstly, but yeah, I do think Muchova's the right favourite. But I do just have a sneaky feeling that, like, Shnaider might finally, we've been saying it all year now, she might be turning a corner and she might be coming into a bit of form. So it's not really a game I want to get too heavily involved with. And I wouldn't even be brave enough to say I've got a strong lean on the match.
So there we go. Those are the 2 matches in Ningbo. We've got 2 matches in Osaka, as you can see on the left of your screen. Ashlyn Krueger minus 137 against Olga Danilovic plus 110. Krueger ended a 4-match losing streak by edging past Maria Sakkari, avenging a very recent defeat to the Greek. Danilovic had to work quite hard to beat home favourite now Hibino. This is their first meeting. As I said earlier, the quicker conditions should help Krueger, but not sure she's playing all that well still. But neither is Danilovic. My thoughts were that the odds might be a bit closer, perhaps almost pick 'em. So my lean would be Danilovic on the money line, just because I think that plus 110 looks a little big. What did you think, Tim?
Yeah, I think the conditions will suit Krueger more, but do I want to be getting involved in Ashlyn Krueger at minus money? And the answer to that is no, certainly not at the moment. Danilovic, you'd imagine, would be happier if she was at the other tournament. The conditions would probably suit her a little bit better there. So maybe that's why Krueger's favourite, but at a minus 137 price, that looks plenty short enough to me. But I think because of the way the conditions are as well, do I want to be getting with Danilovic at just a slightly plus money? Probably not. I think there's better bets to be having tomorrow. And I mean, if you really want to have a bet in the game, then you'd probably be looking towards maybe very small Danilovic. But for me, sometimes the best bet is no bet, and that looks the case to me in this match.
And another match in Osaka featuring Naomi Osaka, the top seed. As mentioned, she's up against the defending champion, Suzan Lamens. Osaka minus 560. The Dutch woman is $4. Lamens was very impressive in round one. She thrashed Emiliana Arango 6-1, 6-1. Whereas Osaka also didn't have too hard a time of it against the youngster Wakana Sonobe. Osaka won their only previous meeting on the grass at Rosmalen last year, 6-2, 6-2. I'd have expected a bit better from Lamens on home soil. But the Dutch woman has plenty to play for here in terms of points to defend. I thought she might be overpriced, and the spread 5.5 games looked interesting. Maybe it's one to see how it goes early on, because Osaka has been serving well, and if she gets her serve going in these quick conditions, she might be hard to stop.
Yeah, definitely, she has been serving well. When I saw her play, even when she lost to Muchova, I thought she served pretty well last week, and she certainly served well in her first round match. But I thought the Lamens line 7.5 player games was probably maybe one game too low for me. So I think if I wanted to have an interest in that game, I'd probably be looking. I think she could probably win 8 games here. We can see Osaka can have her moments of sort of drifted in away in matches. So yeah, 7.5 looked a game short to me there. I thought it would be probably 8.5. So if I was having a bet in the match, I'd be getting with Lamens total player games. I think she can cover over 7.5.
So there we go. We've got a couple more matches to look at, but first, we're going to have Tim's daily double as well. That's one
just
here.
Broke Bergs in the second set there. Sorry, Rory, as well. So he's up a set and a break there.
Oh, so looking good for the money line bet. Yeah, Karolina winning the opening game of set 2, and now minus 715. Zizou Bergs is plus 480. Just a reminder, we want to get your thoughts and comments. We're also on social media at Because We Win. And if you like what you hear on our show, sign up for the newsletter. You get exclusive tips and the free Insider magazine. Sign up for free at www.bettingweeklystudios.com. Now, the Daily Double. Let's have a look at this. 2 matches in Osaka. We start with Sorana Cirstea against Katie Boulter. And as mentioned, Boulter shorter to win the tournament, but the outsider in this one. Cirstea is minus 157, Boulter plus 125. The spread, 2.5 games, totals 21.5 games. First meeting, which is a bit of a surprise to me, given they've been around for, certainly Cirstea has been around for a long time. Boulter's been around for a few years. Boulter played pretty well, probably the best she's played for some time, to defeat Linda Noskova in straight sets in round 1. Cirstea struggled a bit against Moyuka Uchijima, the home player, dropped the second set, but then won 6-2 in the third. I mean, is this another match where you could make a case for the odds being closer, Tim?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's why I want to get with Katie Boulter here. I think that Noskova match was an opportunity for her to get a decent win under her belt. Noskova played a ton of tennis lately. I think I saw her finally lose to Rebecca after beating Osaka in the same tournament last week. And I was amazed to see, I think about 45 minutes after playing Rebecca, she was playing doubles. Amazing sort of staying power from her. But maybe it was just one game too many against Boulter. But full credit to Boulter, she was good there, and she actually likes it here in Japan. She made the semis in Tokyo last year, and I think she also goes well at this time of year. We spoke about that tournament in Hong Kong that Shnaider won. She actually beat Katie Boulter in the final there around this time of year as well. So yeah, she likes it here, and I think since the US Open, she's 3 from 6, but 2 of those losses came against Pegula, who she actually took a set off, and another one she lost in straight sets to Anisimova. So she's been playing reasonably well lately. Like we said, she beat Noskova. Probably played, like I said, maybe one game too many for Noskova there, but yeah, Boulter served pretty well in that match. Didn't do a huge amount wrong, and I was surprised she was sort of plus 125. I think she was on the money line there, wasn't she? I mean,
Yeah.
like you say, Cirstea took 3 sets to win against local player Ymer on Monday. But yeah, Boulter just looks a little bit too big for me here, and I am certainly surprised they're not a fair bit closer. So I think with a decent win under her belt, as good a win as she's had probably in a few months, and playing well in this part of the world, I think plus 125 Boulter is well worth taking.
So there we go. That's the first part of Tim's daily double. The second is in the second match on your screen. Jaqueline Cristian plus 105 against Jessica Bouzas Maneiro minus 130. Spreads 1.5 games, totals 21.5. These two met recently in Beijing, where the Spaniard won 6-4, 6-love. Both won their openers in straight sets. Cristian defeated Elisabetta Cocciaretto and Bouzas defeated Katie Volanets. This was actually priced up as a pick-em match in Beijing. And now, obviously, Bouzas is the favourite. What do you reckon to this one, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they've that one meeting they've had already, which Bouzas Maneiro won comfortably. And I think they're going to be fairly similar conditions here tomorrow. And I can see the Spaniard winning again, actually. I mean, in that match, she won the service points, won a return points, won, so it was 133 to 67. So obviously with a 6-love set, a real dominant performance there. And I think Cristian won only 38% of points on her first and second serves in that match. So she's going to have to do a whole lot better tomorrow. And obviously Bouzas Maneiro should take a lot of comfort from that. And I think she's won 4 of her last 6 matches. She's only lost to Miran Javan, and she lost early on to Iva Jovic last week, who's a player in pretty decent form. So yeah, I just thought Bouzas Maneiro was probably the one I wanted to get with here again. She looked good here yesterday when beating Katie Volanets 6-2, 6-4. I think she faced only 2 break points in that match. I think she won 79% of points on her first serve. So yeah, I was really impressed with her, and I think she's going to finish this season strong. Cristian's had a good year, though. To be fair, she's a player I've warmed to. I saw her take a set of Anisimova at the US Open, and I thought she looked pretty good there. And I think she's lost 4 of her last 6 matches, but I mean, some of those losses have come against Rebecca Anisimova, Raducanu, and obviously the aforementioned Bouzas Maneiro. So I think on a fairly similar court under fairly similar conditions, I thought minus 130 was probably fair enough, really. So yeah, that's I wanted to sort of put that into a double and make it up, really. So I thought that was more than fair, minus 130.
Yep. So Jessica Bouzas Maneiro minus 130 on the money line, with Katie Boulter at plus 125 on the money line, and the daily double pays plus 298. So very close to $3, 3-1. So good luck if you get involved with that. We've got a couple of men's matches to look forward to. Here they are tomorrow in Brussels, Belgium, an all-French affair between Benjamin Bonzi minus 122. That price looks like it's moved a bit. Valentin Royer is plus 100. Yeah, Royer has shortened up. About half an hour ago, he was plus 110. The spread's 1.5 games, totals 22.5. I picked this match simply because I didn't think there were going to be many breaks of serve. They're both pretty strong on serve. Bonzi didn't even have to save a break point against Riley Opelka in round 1. Royer came through as a lucky loser, having lost 2 tie breaks to Gilles Arnaud Bailey. And he made full use of that fortune. He beat Sebastian Baez just the 1 break point, which he saved against the Argentine. First meeting, I thought the overs games line looked a bit high, but over half a tie break is plus 125, and I thought that might be worth a look. Tim, what do you reckon?
Yeah, fairly slick conditions. We've seen quite a few tie breaks of this tournament already, and I think even though this is their first head-to-head, these two should know each other pretty well. They've practiced together a few times, but I mean, whether 22.5, I mean, yeah, a tricky line, isn't it, to sort of to go one. Obviously, 21.5 is probably low, and 23.5 is high, and 22.5 is kind of just in the middle there. But I think if I had a lean in the match, I'd probably be going high. With, like you said, if you're looking to get a tie break in there, then you only need sort of it all depends on who serves first sometimes in these. If you can get 7-6 set, and then obviously a 6-3, and then you end up losing your money there. But oh, sorry, yeah, 22.5. Yeah, you would do so. Yeah, a tricky one, but yeah, I think I'll probably be just be leaning over. I think, but no real strong opinion having with it being no head-to-heads under their belt.
Yeah, that's true. As you say, they might know each other pretty well from the practice court. Similar sort of match here, although a bit more lopsided with the odds. That's in Almaty in Kazakhstan. Gabriel Diallo, the Canadian, -$5. James Duckworth +350. The spread 3.5 games and totals 21.5. One previous meeting in the Canadian Open 3 years ago, where Diallo actually sprung a surprise in straight sets. The second set did go to a tiebreak. And as we're saying, now these tournaments, hard court, indoors, Almaty is notoriously pretty quick. Duckworth came through qualifying. He's only been broken once in 3 matches, and that was by home favourite Mikhail Kukushkin. Diallo didn't have to save a break point against local wildcard Omir Omarkanov. This will be serve dominated. I'm really tempted by Duckworth +3.5 games at +123. I think there's a fair chance for tiebreak between these two strong servers. What do you reckon, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, if Duckworth can lose this 7-6, 7-5 kind of, and you'll end up cashing that 3.5. I mean, here's an example of the money line. Oh, sorry, the overs games here, slightly one less, but you're slightly less money at -134. But a match I'd probably far rather be getting involved in it on the overs here. I think obviously 2 big servers. Like you say, Duckworth hasn't been broken yet. Diallo, we know his serve and +1 weapons are very strong, and yeah, 21.5. That's a line I'd be looking to go over on. From a personal point of view, I want Diallo to come through because I think me and a few others are backed him to win the tournament on the outright. So we're hoping he can come through here, and quickness he should be coming through. Obviously, beat Duckworth 3 years ago in his homeland, but I mean, I'd be fairly confident Diallo's 3 times the player he is now than he was 3 years ago. So I think Duckworth's got his work cut out, but it could be tight and it could come down to a tiebreak or just a one-breaker serve. So I think I agree with what you say. 3.5 on the handicap with Duckworth is probably about right. But I think my main bet will probably be overs here. I think it'll be, like you said, quick conditions, serve dominated. So that 21.5 probably looks a game cheap to me.
So those are the matches in Brussels and Almaty tomorrow. Let's have a quick look at the in-play betting as it stands. And Rafael Collignon, he's a break-up and a set-up, and he's just about to serve for a 3-1 lead against Zizou Bergs. Looking good for Collignon, who is -11.15. He's just held serve, actually, so he's gone 3-1 up in the second. -14.30 Collignon. Bergs +750 to complete a comeback. Would have to be some comeback from here. And in Stockholm, Elias is going with serve in the second set. Elias Ymer took the first set. His brother Mikael is serving at 3-4, 30-15 in the second. And Mikael Ymer is $4 to come from behind and win that match. And Elias Ymer is -770 now because it's just gone to 30 all. So those 2 matches in progress right now. Of course, you can bet in play and stream the action live with Bet Rivers. Tim, let's just have a quick reminder of your daily double.
Yeah, sure, Roy. Daily double is going to be Katie Boulter at +125 on the money line to beat Sorana Cirstea, and Bouzas Maneiro also on the money line at -130, which pays just under $3. I think we said, Roy, didn't we?
Yeah, the double plays +298.
So yeah, hopefully we can get off to a good start.
Yes, indeed. So good luck if you're getting involved with that. Tim, as always, thank you for your company. And
just one more thing before we go. Just
go on.
Obviously, this game's not dead yet, but it just goes to show you how hard it is traveling from the other side of the world, even if it's, I think it's been 5 days since Bergs plays. But yeah, I mean, he gave Djokovic a run for his money. Perhaps not 100% Novak Djokovic, but he's obviously, we saw it with Greek Sport yesterday. He also lost his first round match he was actually, I say, fortunate to come through. He was 5-2 down that second set. Fernley probably should have beaten him in straight sets, and obviously, well, Bergs looks like he might end up losing this in straight sets. So yeah, it's tough to do that traveling. So just something bearing in mind. I think Medvedev plays, I think, day after tomorrow, so he's got a little bit more time, but he went around deeper in the tournament as well. So maybe just one to keep an eye on.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks, Subi. Good luck on the double. Yeah, we hope we can cash that with Tim's daily double. But yeah, definitely something to bear in mind with the travel from one side of the world to the other. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, everyone, for your comments and for tuning in. I guess it's Nigel and Mitch tomorrow holding the fort on Betting Weekly.
I think I'm back tomorrow. I think Nigel's.
Oh, you're
Nigel's
back.
still, Nigel's still away watching the football. So yeah, me and Mitch tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, of course, Nigel's in Latvia watching England in the World Cup qualifier, which I think starts in about an hour or so. But yeah, so Tim's back tomorrow with Mitch. Good luck with that daily double, Tim. Hopefully you can be celebrating a winner on the show tomorrow. Thanks you all for watching. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon on Betting Weekly Tennis Live.